All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Happy Sunday. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully, today's stream will go as scheduled with no technical difficulties and no things spilled on keyboards, and we'll just see how it goes. So I hope you all had a good weekend. Yesterday was a really good day for Beth and I. We had our was off for a while because of COVID, but now back to it. Yearly Lord of the Rings marathon and feast. We just put on the Lord of the Rings extended edition starting about 8 or 9 in the morning and let them play all day. And we have people come in whenever they want and bring food, and we just hang out and socialize for a full day. So it's really quite good. And then after the movies are over, people linger into the evening. We build a fire. It's quite wonderful, but it is a full day and I'm very, very tired. It's not like a big Bacchanalian drinking fest or anything. In fact, I don't think I drank all that much at all anyway, but it's just a long day. It's a lot of food. Everyone got real full. People brought their kids. People brought excellent things to eat. Some people hadn't quite seen the movies a whole lot recently, so it was good to be able to kind of sit down. We had a couple different areas in the house to be able to watch it. Had a TV outside, so it was a lot of fun. That said, just very tired, and we're gonna work on some simple design stuff. I got a comment on Instagram the other day that asking if I had instructions for this, and I didn't. And since this set's coming out in just a couple weeks, about 3 weeks, I thought, well, this would be a good time to maybe do the instructions for it. I thought I had already. So, but because I haven't, let's get to making. So this is a set that's coming out February 1st. It's the Ornithopter from Dune, the new Dune, the 2021 movie, 22, I forget. I think 20. Anyway, the Villeneuve movie. And you can see the figures that are available. It's got, let's see, we've got Paul Atreides even in here? No. So it looks like we've got Chani, and we've got Stilgar, and we've got probably, oh no, that's Paul. Paul and his mom, Paul and Jessica. I'm guessing that's Duncan. And then a couple different soldiers here. I'm not really sure who the characters are that they're going for here. I think these are all Fremen, because these are all still suits. So Chani, maybe that's Stilgar. Maybe that's like, Liet Kynes, I think maybe that lady, because she was a black lady in this. And in the original movie, it was Max von Sydow. So yeah, I think there's a couple different characters. Anyway, good morning, Johnny. I know you don't have all day here. You're going to bounce for some brunch, so I appreciate you coming by and saying hi. Anyway, yeah, so this set's coming out soon. So I did the Ornithopter from the movie like a week after the movie came out. And I've always been very happy with how this turned out. Like, I think this looks a lot like what Lego was going for with its set. And I think it looked pretty good compared to the design of the actual Ornithopter. The only thing that may change in this is that there's like movable landing gear. The wings in this actually move. If you've seen the video of it, they retract, they come back out, and they like oscillate a little bit. It's very cool. And for like, I mean, it's a little bit overpriced, I think, but for 100, here's the thing, for 1,300 pieces, $165 for a set that looks pretty good, has a lot of playability because it's swooshable and it's got its fun wings, comes with 8 figures. This is how you price a Lego set, right? If they had made the X-Men jet this big and included 8 figures and priced it for, you know, it was 1,200 pieces, 1,300 pieces, and priced at $150, $160. I don't think anyone would have batted an eye. Gives beer to wake up. Yep, I need beer to wake up. So yeah, so I'm very excited about this set. It definitely is going to be a day one purchase. I did not get it. These things are so hilarious to me. It's like, first of all, anyone in an office like that, dressed as smartly as this, probably doesn't have this set. That's a nice. It's not even really a nice like set piece, right? It looks good there, you know, showing it off and everything. But anyway, so that's what's going on. I need to take off the happy holidays. It's no longer happy holidays. How about just thanks for visiting? Happy New Year. Okay. So yeah, so this was done a while ago. I don't remember how. It was fairly soon after the movie, which I feel was like in November of 2021 or 2022. It was one of those first ones we went, we're like, wow, can we go to this? It's still COVID time. Can we do this? And I did my best to make sure that the wings had all independent movement. So this is the only piece that I think was a problem in the coloring. Like, I think I have to do this in black or something, or light gray, because I wanted this all to be in the same color, because the ship itself is pretty uniform, right? But there are some black areas on here, so I don't mind doing. Let's clean up a couple things that could be cleaned up. It looks like I started to maybe do some. No, I really didn't. I think this was just like after you place new things to get it going. So this is my Paul Atreides in a still suit. The Paul Atreides in the actual set's going to be this guy in green. He's not even going to be the pilot of the set, but because he's the main character of the story, that's who you're going to get. He's going to, they just give him a little knife, which I think is kind of lame. Instead of getting a Chris knife, like this looks like it might be a Chris knife. I wish I could zoom in on these a little more and them not be out of focus. But yeah, that's a white knife. That's a regular knife. So I think a Chris knife, I think they could have done better with this, honestly. Making a Chris knife is not that hard. You just need like a brown lightsaber hilt and a fang. That's your Chris knife. I don't know why they couldn't do that. These white barbs are ubiquitous, and lightsabers are so common. Just make one in a brown or a dark silver or something. Hello, Dune fans. Hello, Scott. How are you? Happy Sunday. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So, as per usual with instructions, the way I do them is I zero out everything on the first step, and then I work backwards, putting things into steps as they go. So everything here should go into step 3, and then we'll get rid of step 2. All right, we'll keep step 1 and 2 because this is where we're going to fill things in. So the process I do is I go backwards, and I make sure that the step view is on. And what that does is if I have step view off and I move something up here, it doesn't change when I click on that step. But if I have step view on and I just click on that step, that piece is the only thing I see. That's the difference. So that helps in what I'm going to be doing here. And always try to build from bottom up and back to front. Because if you're looking at a model, you want to be able to kind of see what you're doing. You don't want to have to keep rotating to get to something. Now, there may come a time where you have to rotate, but Lego's pretending that the sets are more eclectic than they actually are. Yeah. Do I have a delay on the chat? I need to check because I didn't. Usually it's pretty quick, but I feel like that comment came from when I was talking about how the scenery was going on. I can't really do anything about it now, but because I'm already streaming, but we'll get to it. Yeah. Let me see if the music picks up. Can you guys hear the music okay? I don't want to talk over it too much, but all right. So back to front, top to bottom. So I will probably start with like these are all flat, but they lay out pretty well. That first step, and if my software would run properly. So that's your first step, right? Then you make another step. And then there's nothing in step 2 yet, right? So let's see, on top of those plates, then you kind of have to do some creative hiding of things. So you can see what's available. Ooh, I already see that there's a problem. There's a piece in here that was awkwardly placed. You can see this overlap in here, and I don't know why that's in there so awkwardly. Everything seems to be just a little off. All right. What's up, Mariana? Mariana's Bricks. I'm guessing Walter. How are you? Boatarde. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that's... We'll do another one on top there, and it looks like these guys are next. So that's good. We get all these socket plates, as well as that plate. Let's just do that for now. Don't want to overwhelm people with instructions. So yeah, there's an art to the instructions that you don't want to overwhelm people. Hey James, how's it going? Overwhelm people with too many pieces, but I feel like there's a group of people who are also like, this entire step is one piece. Like, couldn't you do 4 or 5 pieces on there? Oops. I don't know why I keep going back. I don't have to go back to anything. I get so used to like bouncing back and forth for the image. Don't have to do the image. But I use the backward. I love your instructions, always so intuitive, but you use the backward system. Yeah, when making instructions, it's really, the instructions are kind of the art form here, as well as being creative with the build. It's like how you make the instructions as you're going. That's also kind of a subjective. Yeah, I think I'm a little delayed. There may have been a setting change in YouTube to allow for a slow update. Make 10 versions. Yeah, right? Do you like instructions where, you know, you have 3 pieces per page? Do you like instructions where there's a bunch of steps per page or one big step per page? Your chat is like a minute-ish behind. Okay, well, nothing I can do about that. Let me go look. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, you know what? The stream itself is a little delayed, and that's fine. Like a little more delayed than I thought, and I think that's probably because I made a few changes, but whatever. It's okay. When I have the file to start, select last piece and going to the first, then I change the order. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's a good way to do it too, yeah. All right, so got that group of pieces. Then it's a couple snot bricks. So yeah, got to remember to come up here, add a step. So we've got a blank step in here now. And we've got 4 different bricks here. Come on, studio, work with me. I'm holding control down. Why is this not? I'm holding control down. Holding control down. Okay. So one thing that they've been really bad about lately, the software, is just the selecting portion of it is just so bad. All right, so this looks like this all needs to go forward. Half a stud. There we go. So I don't know if you saw that. You can see this overlap right here. Now they'll click together fine, but at some point something is a little off, and I think what it is this wing, this wedge shape, is a little weird when it attaches to stuff. It actually has a gap when you put it together. There's like a little bitty. If you look at it, there's sometimes I feel a little bitty gap. So when you put this together like this, it snaps too funny. Like you select 3 pieces and then put on step 1, and then you hide them and keep going until no pieces are available. That's fine too. Yeah. I mean, again, it's this, the way I feel like the way I'm doing it gives you a little more control about which ones you're doing. But I mean, that's just the same thing. It's how you hide what you're seeing, and what's visible is created in the next few steps. So this is one way, is going a little more forward with it. Like you said, you just build it, flip it, hide everything until it's in its own steps, or like this, where you just kind of drag and drop into steps. However you want to do it gets done. I like that you have your own style for it. I think that's great. All right, so that's all in there. I think there's another plate in here. I think that's it. Let's do that up here. Yep. So yeah, yesterday, Lord of the Rings all day, extended editions. Had probably 15 people over. Trying to think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then some kids. Yeah, it's pretty good. I have a bag of only the cookie halves of Oreos left. I already ate all the halves with the filling. That's sad. All right, so we've got these guys now. This is actually going to be really simple, so we may end up doing... Oh, wait. I didn't select that tile. I just want that. Why is this selected? I don't want that selected. Okay. Weird. Okay. So if we run into a time when there's lots of time left, maybe I'll do some more instructions. Pick another set and do it. We'll just have to see where that goes. Because I'll probably be done with this in like an hour. I think about it. Although we could go through all the page design and stuff, so probably not. Let's do this piece. Okay. That. Let's do these 3 pieces as the next one. Oh, whoops. Let's do all 4 of those. Boom. Yeah, so the other thing is I have to remember to take him out because he's not part of that. So what's everybody's plans for today? So you're talking to your pals about Lego the other day. So here's an example of what we're going to do to create a call out within the instructions, but we're going to duplicate it. And there's a way to do it where you can't just copy this in the instruction phase. You have to make a group that's copied. What's up, you are? You're doing absolutely nothing. At the moment, you're sorting and upgrading a file of stock pieces. Cool, cool, cool. So what we're going to do is there's a similar thing over here. We're going to create two builds that are the exact same, and we're going to repeat them twice. But there's a way to do it. You have to group it while we're in the build area. Okay. Getting ready to kids to go back to school tomorrow. Oh man, I bet you're so happy. Good morning, Missy, how are you? Okay, so in order to get this to be a repeated group, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to group this. So make sure we got 3 pieces selected because the selection thing's really odd lately. So make a group, okay? Then on the other side where the group exists, I delete these pieces, okay? So they don't exist over there. Now I take this group and let's move it up to the step that I want to do. So I think it's in step 6. Nope, we need to make a new step. Step 7. So here in your step, you right click on the actual, not on the build area, but on, you want to copy the submodel within the step. Copy and then paste. And then you can put it on here. So what this is telling the software is that there are 2 of these submodels. So it won't ask you, it won't, like if you were just doing it page by page, it wouldn't like go through one group and then repeat and go through another group. It would only do it once. And then there would be the little 2 on there. I think it would give it a 2. If not, you can put a 2 on there. Finally feeling better? Great. Mine still have Monday off. Yeah, I think AISD, I think Austin and Pflugerville might. Some of them might do that. Apparently AIS, well, I don't know. That's James's Leander ISD. But I think AISD sometimes does that where they like, first day back on a Monday is like administrative holiday. It's a day for teachers to come back early and get everything set up before the students get there sometimes. Not always, but anyway, we'll come back to the submodel thing when we get to the page design and I'll show you. In service day, yeah. All right, so next step. So after we did that, then we can do these 2 pieces as their own step, and we've got that all done. All right. Now, oh, wait, we got one more. Let's do that piece and these 2 pieces together. Sort of don't really matter. You can kind of do them however you want. Make sure that that's 3. All right. So back to front now. Up to down. I don't know why I keep doing that. There's no image for me to look at. So now what I might do is flip it over before I put the wings on and just flip it over and say, all right, here's what you need to do. This can be a call out. So we'll group that. Make this its own step. Put that up here so I know where it is. I have to make a step. Put that in that step. Okay. Make another step. This can be a call out. Actually, that can be, I'm not going to make that a call out. This can just, but this will be its own group. So that'll be a step. And then this last little bit right here will be I don't even remember what this is for. I think this is like additional landing gear or something like that. Let's do a little step here and do that. All right, then we'll flip it back over. And we'll do the tail. The tail will be its own group. So you group them in here. And then in the step editor, in the instructions portion, that's when you start giving it the order of what it needs to be built. Again. So group that, and it'll be its own thing that gets attached there. And then step 14 will be all these guys. So here again, this is going to be tricky because I don't want it to screw up the positioning, but there's only 2 pieces here, so I'll just have to do it. So we'll group this, right? And this will be a call out eventually. And I'll put this in here. And then I'll come back down to here and get rid of the rest of these. Actually, this one too. All right, so now I copy and paste the group from within here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, they're probably stacked on top of each other in here, so I gotta turn them. But because they're all the same, I want to do 8 copies of this. And you'll see why here in a second. There. Oh, maybe more? How many do I have? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So copy, paste. There we go. And yeah, it looks funny when you're doing it like this, but gotta run. Can't wait to see instructions. I will have them on Rebrickable eventually. I'm gonna try to work on also having, because I'd like to keep stuff on Rebrickable. I don't have the patience or time to set up a website, but also I need to start doing watermarking on the instructions so they can't be stolen. It's just unfortunate that we have to do that. All right, so I want to adjust these so they are straight because it looked cool when the back ones were like that, but and then 360, just do 360. What? Undo. That's oddly 0. That's oddly twisted. Make this one look a little fun on the back side here. There we go. Cool. And I think that's it. I think the last submodel is the character, and we don't need this. So I've already got a render of it, so we don't need that. So there's no step 15. We got 14. 14 steps, not bad. There's a lot of sub steps in here, so anyway, we'll save this so we don't lose our place. And now we go into our instruction mode. So here you see the step editor, and this is just kind of more or less the same thing as what we did. We're just arranging it in the process of how they get put together. But you can also verify like how it looks, and in some cases you can see that bigger models, sometimes there's random pieces. Like if you drag a piece onto the build and it gets put somewhere far away or it's hidden by something, it'll show up here. It won't be like in the way of the rest of the model. So you'll see like a piece that's out of place and you can go back and edit that. But this is all to make sure like it makes sense. You hit your A and D keys to go backwards and forwards. Just to make sure it looks good. It looks good to your eye. Like if you were building this, would this make sense? Does it look overly complicated? You know, does it look like that piece would stay on there? That kind of thing. So here's our first. So this is your first subgroup, right? So in order to give this subgroup some steps, you select it, hit view steps, and then here's your submodel, and this is nice and small so you can kind of see what's going on. You want that piece to be built first, so you say step before, and it puts it up here first. And since this is just these two pieces, you can highlight one more and do a step before, so there's 3 steps. But because there's only one piece and then another layer, basically, that's all you have to do. So hit return to parent. Now what that does is for both of these models, because we copied them, it's going to do the same instructions for both of those groups. So when it comes down to the page layout, it's going to have one thing that says do this twice. That's why the copy and paste is so important in the steps, because it tells the software to do that twice or 3 times or 4 times, as we'll see with the wings. Excuse me. All right, so we'll keep going through this, get some tiles up there, get those trans pieces here. Here's another subgroup. Do view steps. These are going to be call outs. They're going to be very small. You could also do generate steps. It should give you like, it'll tend to do bottom up. I like to do sometimes different, like I want to do this and then attach that to the bottom. Everybody understands that. So here's another one. Come down here and do view steps. This one will be that step before, then that step before, then that step before, and then the skis. Normally you would go from the ground up kind of thing, but because you don't have the spacing for the skis exactly, people don't know where to put them. They just sit them on the table and go, all right, now what? But if you kind of work backwards this way, it's like, all right, dot, clip, handlebar. Oh, now I know where to put those skis because I have a place to put those skis. That's that would be my stream of consciousness for it. So that's done. And then this last one, same thing. Big piece first. Let's do generate steps and see. Your design does not yet have any steps for the building instructions. Do you want us to generate steps for a jump start? No, that scares me. So we're going to hit cancel. This is easy enough. You do the big piece first, and then you can just do the rest of these pieces all as one. That can be a call out. Okay. All right. So then we got this one. These are all going to be different steps here. Since this is an attach, no, I'll do that first. Step before, step before, step before, and then those two at the end. Cool, cool, cool. All right, so here's the thing. We pick one. Let's just pick the first one in the group. And you say that first, and then leave this one becomes the second step. So now it'll change that for all of these, and we'll go through and we'll show you that. So that should be it. That's your last step over here. There's no more. You can't arrow down to it. If you created a step within here, you say add a step, it'll create that back in the build area and it'll be blank. There's nothing in it. So we can do save again because we made all those subgroups. So now we're on page design. So this is what it's going to look like for all the users, right? It's at this point where you can make a background. I thought there was a thing where you could create a watermark, but I think it's just inserting an image into the background. So yeah, you can do image, bill of materials. I don't think there's a style specifically that you can like, this is also new. You can kind of like zoom in and stuff. Parts list, isn't it? New part highlight, submodel, call out. These are all just like global changes to everything across all pages. Background, fill, border. Do we want to fill? Color, or we can do an image, and you can choose an image. So I don't have an image. But let's do something real quick because I want to try something. So before we finish this, let's make a watermark. Let's open up GIMP, and this is just going to be a test because I'm going to try to make like a transparent. The reason I want to make a transparent image is if I change the color of the background, let's say I want the background colors to be blue on the pages. Well, I want whatever image is back there to go over that regardless of the color, right? So what is generally the size of these pages? That's my thing. Page between step number, default style format. Doesn't really say what the page size is, but like by pixels or inches or so I'm gonna have to try to be adaptive with it. So let's just open a new it's fine. Now I don't want a background. I want a clear background. So I'm also not great with GIMP all that much. Let's just color this. Nope. B, Shift B. There we go. And let's do. Do we want to do copyright? And it doesn't matter what. I don't want to do rip snort. Let's do just Arial or something. Make this a little bigger. No, let's make it bigger here so I can see it. Let's make it 140. Alt 162. The font color is red or white. We won't be able to see it. Let's make it slightly gray. No, let's get rid of that. Font color, slightly gray. Alt 162. Nope. Alt 233. Nope. Alt 149. Nope. 153. Oh, now we're getting closer. Don't know what copyright is. So I pull up my Charm app and look up that, and it's 169. So I can copy it, select, copy, whatever. But I like knowing what the Alt keystrokes are. So 169. Ben's copyright 20. Here's the thing too. I'll say 2023 because that's when this was made. Although this will be published in 2024. And I don't know if I should do. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll move that over here. And now I want to rotate it. And when I do, it's going to break. It's going to break it so I can't use it as a font anymore. New layer. So the problem is every year I'm going to have to do this. But this should cover me for this year. So what I'll do is I'll save as, and this will just save it as a native GIMP file. Watermark, and I'll put it on my drive. Doesn't necessarily need to be in Lego. Let's just save it to the main drive. And then when I export it, I should be able to tell it to do a background that's different. Well, yeah, I could. I just, at one point when I'm not on stream, I'll probably make the next couple years worth. Trying to remember how to save color values from transparent pixels. Like, I can't get rid of this layer, I don't think. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now I'll save it and export watermark on my drive. Okay, so now let's change the global style. Fill to, because I want to insert an image over everything, but I like having a color of the page to be different. So we'll do that. That's a colored page. Insert image, choose image, my drive, watermark. There we go. Okay. So we can do fill page or fit to page. Yeah, that's good. So now hopefully that's not too obstructive, but also I don't want people to steal my stuff anymore. So what I need to do is go back and do this on my, and this should go across all pages, right? Step editor didn't change. Page design. There we go. Yeah. So now that's better. So if I were to save this, let's just try something. I'm gonna do exit because this is already saved. Open Lego Q2 Stadium small Los Verdes. This one should already be broken down. instruction wise. Yeah. So if we go to instructions, it's not an empty step. I think it's just thinking about it. Yeah. So these are all, it should be 100 and... What? That's weird. Don't save. Oh, because they're... did I really do it that way? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's so... this... Yeah. So this is broken up into 4 groups. You can see it doesn't look like the instructions are all that bad, right? It's only 6 steps, but each step is a subgroup. This is built exactly the same way as the Old Trafford set, in that it's these big chunks, right? So you build the field, and then you build the north and south stands, and then you build the east and west stands, and in our case, you build the roof. But each of those chunks is one big subgroup, which means a lot of your step-by-step things are done in this portion of it, not in the build area, which can be kind of nerve-wracking. I remember that being kind of a problem. So if I wanted to do this here, I could just add global style. I think global style saves across all of everything you do from this moment on, but I don't know. Water. Center, fit to page. Good. Yeah, that doesn't cover the sets very well, but I mean, it's in there. And then in the renders, I'll have to do renders too. So in the renders, I need to change that. And that'll just be something I'll render it, and then in GIMP I can put an overlay on that too. So yeah, that sucks that we have to do stuff like that. But all right, so going back to the Ornithopter, now that we've got this all done, and we go to do a render, remind me that I have to do that for the render too. So getting back to this, this isn't how I want it laid out necessarily. So you can select each piece in here. It doesn't really do you any good because you don't really want to do anything with it at that point. But you can select the entirety of that step, and then you can change the step view and rotate it and flip it however you want. So this is how I want this to be orientated. You can also orientate it this way. Like usually it's one of those two kind of back to front kind of things. So, but this is good. Now this should translate all following steps. If you see over here, now everything's rotated, right? It should kind of follow suit. What it doesn't do normally is if you select it and move it, it doesn't also move every subsequent step, or at least it didn't used to. And you'd have to go back and like every time you'd have to move it again. But in most cases, when it's this small, it's not that big of a deal because the software tries to get everything that it can onto one page. At least it tries to get all the visible pieces that you're currently working on in the view. right? So if it's a huge model, some of the model may get pushed out if you're just doing a couple little pieces on one section of it. And there's nothing really you can do about that. You can make this smaller. You can change the scale, right? But then you lose the detail and people being able to see what you're doing with it. So, all right, so just adding steps. This is your preview of what pieces you're using window up here. That looks good. Again, A and D will move you through each step. All right, that looks good. And now we're on our first of many groups. So what we want to do is we don't want 2 pages of this to then put it back in here. And you see how that's now off-centered a little bit, and I want it to be over here. Sometimes it'll do that. So what I want to do is instead highlight this and say convert to call out. And what that'll do is it'll take this little group that I made, and I don't want that to move. I want this to move. And we can put it right here. So this says, do this, do it twice. I'd rather this be in here. I don't know why they stick it outside like that. I don't like that. And then select your arrows, and you can move your arrows. Since there's 2 steps, you get 2 arrows. A lot of times you can just delete the other arrow. Just make it work however you think it looks best at that point. All right, next steps. You see how I changed where this was centered, but the rest of these pages didn't. So that's kind of a problem. This will kind of line things up for you. There's a shadow of what the step that came before, and it'll snap to that. So that's kind of helpful. Oh, okay. So again, we want to select this. We want to select the part, convert to call out. And it's moving the set over because it's putting the call out in focus. And I don't want that. I want the set in focus. I also want to change the view. And I don't want to flip it, but what I want to do is change the camera. You can see over here the camera looks at different orientations. So clicking these boxes will change a bit of the orientations, right? And it's never, like, I never want a view like this for whatever reason, but I don't know why they put this in here instead of being like maybe this or maybe upside down. So you can click custom, click in the box, and instead of -30 degrees, say 30 degrees, and it kind of gets you exactly what you need, right? I don't know why they don't have that as one of the, because the only times I really want to flip it is when I want to put something upside down, right? And this isn't necessarily a flip either. Like in most cases when you're building Lego, a flip means you're completely turning it over and building on it. Now we could do that. I could flip this completely over and rotate it, but I don't like doing that. I just kind of like showing you where it needs to go. And it's up to you whether you want to turn it over and put that in like that or not. Does Lego currently use this to make instructions? No, they've got their own tool. I'm sure it's similar. I'm sure it's got a lot of the same tool, the visual cues in it, like some of the outlines around the pieces and the way it's sets up the part preview or the subgroup, the submodel call out squares. But these are all customizable, and I think people just went through, developers just went through and did their own development based off of what they saw in instructions. So I don't think this is something that Lego actually uses. It'd be kind of cool if it did. All right, so now I want to do another call out. Actually, this one I want to make as a step. So the problem with this is there's 2 problems. This isn't a weird angle. I don't like the way that looks. So I want to rotate that so you can kind of see what you're building. And this I want to take and do a regular 30 degrees because I want to build it normally, right? Now we can put this on here and change this to custom 30. so you know where to attach it. But that's hard to see, really. I think it'd be easier if... Nope. So if we did 30 and 60, maybe, you could see that a little easier. I don't know what Lego uses. I'm sure, I'm assuming they have their own in-house CAD system. And much like what Studio does in that it can link to Bricklink's database of parts, I'm sure they've got theirs linked to whatever in-house database of available parts they can use, up to the point where they could probably like use part designer type thing to make their own parts or request different colors of existing parts. And they probably have, I don't know what they use to design new pieces and new molds. I'm sure that's an entirely new or an entirely different system. So we've jacked with the views quite a bit, so we're gonna have to kind of reset how we're viewing everything. So you can see this is kind of messed up. I still want it right about there, but this needs to be a better view. If I cancel that, that makes it easier, and then I can just rotate it. That makes this easier to see, and you put it up there. And I move the whole thing down here because this is being built underneath the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if some people used this internally for Lego, but I'm guessing they don't allow, they would have their own internal. Okay, so I'm going to change this internal software. I'm going to change this back to this, and I want to change this to no, that's pretty good. So let's rotate that like that. So step, step, step. That's fine. And then this is good because it's showing you it'll attach. Again, it's not a flip. It's just a kind of a rotate. And I think that's easy enough for people to see. I'm not using... When I do instructions, I don't use the... Because you can insert this thing. A flip little thing. I'm not flipping it. I'm just, you know... So I guess this one could be used. Let's get rid of it here. If we go back... So we do this. I can put an insert here. But I'm not really flipping it. I'm just like knowing that you're looking at the underside of the thing. That might help somebody. I don't know. I know 5+ years ago I saw INDD in the document properties. Looking at a current file, I just see the PDFs generated by third-party software. Which PDF is what they use, which is apparently an HTML to PDF converter. So my guess is they probably export it. If I were them, I would export it to something that could be viewed in a web browser, so multiple people can take a look at like what's been designed and either add commentary or suggested edits to the instructions. And then that once that's done, the project is probably finalized and then exported from there to a PDF. I'm sure there's so many processes and steps and approvals and stuff that it goes through. So let's do this. Yeah, that's good. Now I've flipped it again, so let's turn this back over. Now this is going to be a call out, so this is going to be complicated, but because this piece is very big, this piece is very awkward. So I want this to be smaller, so we can make this smaller. Nope. Make this whole thing thought we could just do that, but maybe it's over here. Where's the size on this? Size and color. That's not nearly small enough. That's not it at all. This was 24 or something. I want this. This you can just shrink. I thought you could shrink that. Yeah, you can shrink this a little bit. I thought you could shrink this too. Apparently not. All right, well, I don't need it to be this big. Like, this takes up a lot of room. Maybe if I scale this. There we go. It'll change that whole thing. So let's get this out of the way. I want the model to be rotated again. That way. Okay. And there was an 8 in here. Went off the side over here. Times 8. And I don't need this arrow. I'm going to do one arrow, I think. But then I've got all these other arrows that I have to delete, or else it'll just have these little sub arrows in there. So that should make sense, I think, to everybody. That probably looks good. I honestly think that this could go down a little farther, so that's not overlapping. And we'll drag this arrow down a little bit. So there you go. All right, so that's the end of the instructions. What I also like to do is insert bill of materials at the end. So I'll do insert page after, and then do bill of materials. And this should only be like 1 or 2 pages sometimes, because I don't really care what you put in, what figure you put in. But for the Star Wars mocks, I would always usually do a screen grab of a Star Wars minifigure that I was using, and say suggested figure in this bill of materials area. Suggested figure is Admiral Akbar or something like that. But in this, it's like I don't care. I don't care who pilots this. This figure is a ad hoc kit bash of muad'dib. So, but you could do anybody. You could do Duncan. You could do, like, literally 3 or 4 people in the movie flew an Ornithopter. So doesn't matter what you want to do. At the beginning, I will do a render. So let's look at that real quick. Yeah, this is all part of the process. So anyway, I want to save this though. So we'll save this. Because this was all good work that we did on that. We'll open GIMP back up. So GIMP, if you don't know, is just a Photoshop, a free Photoshop-esque tool. I don't think it's as robust as Photoshop, but it gets the job done for a lot of what I need. And in most cases, it was doing stuff like this, really simple. For many years, I was doing comic book page coloring, some comic book lettering, although Illustrator was better for that. Basic photo manipulation, like if I did a painting or a watercolor, I could scan it, come in here and tweak the curves and the color settings and everything. Clean it up a little bit so I could send it off to print. This can handle that kind of stuff. So let's open. So I should have a standard instruction splash page that I use. So I just don't remember where I put it. I think because I'm only doing instructions really in Microfighters, maybe. Instructions, splash pages. Yeah, I had to make special. I think I had to make a folder for the Horizon stuff too. What's up, Mayo? Good early morning to you. Or no. Yeah. Good evening to you, I guess. Late evening for you. So I should have like I thought standard in here. Maybe I don't. Instructions splash page. Okay, there it is. This is also something I want to put the watermark on. So, but this will have a watermark on it on the in the instructions because it'll be part of the global style. So, what I'll do here is first of all, you get rid of this image, and then we go get the actual studio files, designs, Ornithopter, and we'll just drag this over here. And what say you? Just doing gaming right now. It's 2:40 a.m. So you're right the first time. Hope everyone is enjoying themselves today. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. So, well, nope, don't want to do that. We're going to, I'm still recovering from yesterday. Had a very long day. Kind of eyeball this step here. Make sure everything fits. And come change the, this is going to be Ornithopter. Do I do... Oh, I do a layer behind that. Okay. Which I don't want to do this time. So I'm going to get rid of that layer. I'm going to make this bigger. And then I'm going to do... So I do most of my thumbnails. I do layer, text to path, new layer, select from path, grow 5. Yeah. Change to black and white. Do a fill. That's black. Drag that under the ornithopter. Bob's your uncle. Okay. All right. So that's all I need to do for that. And then I say export as, because I don't really care to save the source file. It's going to change all the time anyway. As long as I have a source file, it's fine. Export as, and then I do splash pages, and I do ornithopter. Splash ornithopter. Export. Now, go back to, what's up, Macro? Howdy doody. How's your life? So we'll go back to the beginning. We'll do insert page before. Then we do insert image. And I go find my splash page. Microfighters, instructions, splash pages, sort by list. No, details, sort by date. Sort by date, sort by date. Or don't sort by date, you know, whatever you feel like doing today. It's cool. That's fine. Orn. Okay. So then I do fit. Fit that. Oh, you know what? This doesn't have it on it because the watermark is behind it. But what I could do is insert a thing over this. I can insert another image and do yep. It's fine with me. Let's lower that a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to learn how to do better watermarks. Although I don't think I need that for this one because it's got it over the top of it. And the instructions themselves have it. You can't separate the image from this. That's kind of why I like overlay it with stuff. So that should be right. No, this is the splash page ahead of the instructions, right? So you get the instructions, you open up the PDF, and this is the first page you see. So now we're good with that. I'll do file, save, and we'll do export. And I don't want it to go into the Mars support base, so I have to change the folder and do Lego micro. This is the problem with having so many digital instructions, and I haven't sent this to Rebrickable yet, so it's just going to sit in here. Save, export, and this should be pretty quick. If you do more than like 100 pages or something like that, it does take a little bit to export it, but the thumbnails are fairly similar for the channel. I don't need to open the folder. So let's exit this. So that's the process. That's the entire process. Took an hour and 14 minutes for a small model like this. It's not that bad, right? So I do have, this is really sad, but I do have a Bible of sorts. To tell me like what ships I've done instructions for this whole thing, right? So I don't even know if I can search Ornithopter. Okay, Ornithopter. So I come down here, and this is so I know what I've done. It's not official. It's a mock. I haven't put it on a wanted list yet. I haven't built it yet. I haven't made a stand for it. I have made instructions for it. I don't have a good photo because I don't have it built. There is an official minifigure, and notes. It's not a rework. I don't have it built. It's not a to-do. It's non-Star Wars. So, but yeah, this is how I kind of keep track of the things that like I want to do, what I've done. I used to have a thing included on here saying, have you shared this on social medias, and which social medias? And then I was like, that's not as important as actually building it. So I got rid of those. So this is just kind of help me. I'm way behind on it. But I've also not done a ton of Microfighter things yet, but this is like the ship list that I have. This this is just a text file, but this helps me keep track of it a little faster, and I don't have to keep reorganizing the spreadsheet. I don't know why this name is so long. Oof, that doesn't need to be that bad. But yeah, so this is how many Microfighters I'd like to build at some point. 460. And some of these are, yes, I do have a Microfighter problem. Some of these are other people's designs. Some of these are just like, I mean, you can see the to-do list is pretty extensive. Some of these are other people's designs. Resistance Transport is a E.C. Henry ship. The Sand Crawler, there's a really nice Sand Crawler Microfighter out there that I want to do. There's an Outrider that's really nice. In most cases, I'd rather do it myself. And if I forget for long enough, then I'll end up doing it myself and try not to be influenced by their design. But some of them are just too good. And then you can see in here, there's non-Star Wars stuff. There's the Moya from Farscape with John Crichton. Trying to think if there's other ones in here. The Lex with Stanley Tweedle. You know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, super fun. So if I sort by how many are built, hopefully it won't break my alignment too much. Got 100 built. This includes official sets. So you can see I've got, this is also for the collecting purposes. These are all official sets. So if I were to remove the filter, if I were to do a mock built, it would be 57 mocks. That seems a little low. Like, I think I have more, which is why I feel like I haven't been keeping up with this list. Yeah, so there's that. I don't have like a date added or anything like that, but I could probably go through here and go, oh no, wait, I did that one. Yeah, I need to change that. Anyway, so that's, now I know that for the Ornithopter, I've made instructions for it. I haven't sourced the parts to buy it yet, but maybe I will. I'm going to do a big source Bricklink order, hopefully with all the Horizon parts. So maybe I'll have this built in time to get the Ornithopter and just put Paul into the little one and take some pictures. Let's see the spent on parts column. No, thank you. Probably more than I'm willing to talk about. And it's not just the spent on parts. It's because sometimes I only need like a handful of parts and I end up buying $1.50 worth of parts from somebody and it's $3 to ship. And it's like, ugh. So I try to combine as many orders as I can. But like, if I don't have anything else going on, I'm like, I just need this handful of parts. Which is why I'm also sad that I don't sort as much as I do, because I know, like, I know I have this piece. I have to have this piece somewhere, but it's not in any of the sorted bins. So, let's see. Is there another set, another Microfighter that I've done that I don't have instructions for yet? That might be, let's look, shall we? So there's some recent ones, like I just did the Crimson Firehawk. I think I did the instructions for the font. Oh, you know how I can tell? How I can tell? How I can tell? Rebrickable. It's the Microfighter Addiction. Massages. I have massages. New mock, new mock, new mock. New invoice. I already paid that. Account mocks. So the Fondor was the last one I did, and I actually have that one built. The more sorting you do, the less you have to buy on Bricklink. Sorting party, anyone? Yeah, well, so I've got everything. So I had buckets and buckets of things that needed to be sorted, like around my room. I would take apart a bunch of sets, recent sets, Dreams, Star Wars stuff, where I'm like, I don't want to display this, but I want the pieces. And I don't want to sit here and take each set apart and sort as I take apart, which is what I should do. What I have done is just get a big Tupperware and take it all apart and put it in that Tupperware and say, I'll get to that later. What I want to do is just take it all apart, free up some space. But then that bucket sits on that space that had the sets. So I've been dumping those buckets into a larger bucket. That's kind of been the perennial sorting bucket. And it's a big tote. It's one of those big, I don't know what that is, 20-gallon totes with a tablecloth in it. Dump all the parts into there, close it up. Then when I want to sort, I pick up the tablecloth and go put it on the table and open it up, and it's right there. And I just go sort, and I pick 5 or 6 pieces, and I just go looking through the pile for those pieces, right? Triangle wedge plates, long wedge plates, hinges, brackets, wheels, and I get, and I only pick like a handful so I can keep track. And I go through the whole pile, and I put all those pieces away, and then I go back through the pile and start over with different pieces. And if I ever need to move it, pick the tablecloth up, put it back in the tote. Now it's off the table, right? That's why I'm making sorting and filing to see what I really have, right? That's kind of what I need to do, but I'm going through like 10 years of not having really sorted a whole lot, so. Same thing, yeah. I'll be like, all right, I'm going through plates longer than 2x6. I'll do that. All 4x whatever plates. What's another big topic? Just regular bricks. 2x2, 2x3, 2x4. Then also anything bigger than 2x4. I also have, I'm running out of space in some categories. So like 2x6 plates are their own category. They have their own drawer, but it's full, right? So I'm at to the point where I either need to get a bigger drawer for it or split it into 2 categories and have it be like black and white and gray and then all colors, or just black and white and all colors, or, something, or just a bigger drawer. All right, so looking through here, we've got the Fondor was the last one I did, the Tac Pod, the Gunstar. Some of these weren't recent designs, but these were the most recent ones I did instructions for to put up on Rebrickable, which means I stopped about here. None of these have instructions. I'm going to go ahead and venture a guess. This wasn't mine. No, that was mine. It was just based off somebody else's actual Star Wars 3D design. Did that. That's just a different image. Don't need that. TIE Whisper. It's pretty similar. It's not really a new thing. Echo Ship from Bad Batch. Hell's Anvil is kind of a big thing. ATAC. I'm not really sure people really like that. The B-Wing Mark II. Did I do an Orville instructions? I feel like I did Orville instructions, but I didn't put them up here. Let's take a look. But for microfighters, you don't need big pieces so you can leave them behind. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the big pieces kind of let the pile get a little smaller, and I feel like I'm getting them out of the way so I can see those other pieces, and it's like low-hanging fruit. It's really easy to get through them. If I have to sort through, this pile is literally like this big. It's as big as my kitchen table, right? And it's about that high when I open it up. So there's a lot. Take care, Mayo. Good seeing you. If I have to go looking for, this piece, if I have to go looking for gray sausages in that giant pile, I literally have to go through every piece just to make sure. And so the fewer pieces I have to get to that, it's a bad way of thinking, I'm sure. Let's open up the Orville and see. The Orville. I thought I did instructions for the Orville. Yeah. So this is all done. I don't have any splash pages or anything, but this should already be done. This just wasn't sent to... Ooh. This wasn't sent to Rebrickable. Which means I didn't really do... Oh, I didn't... Yeah, this was only partially done. I think I only... Well, let's work on this a little bit. So, let's go back out of here. So that's a good reason for Friends Night coffee sorting. Yeah. I think the only reason I don't like I like the idea of having people coming over for coffee and sorting. Maybe not at night because I don't want coffee at night. It'll keep me up. But at some point, I would have to have just buckets for people available to be like, or just Tupperware and just be like, look for. I can't really let people go on their own because I have, and we all do. I have such a system for sorting that I'm like, no, don't put those together. I only want these. You know, well, why those? They'll ask. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Just don't ask. All right, so I'm gonna expand all these guys, and we're gonna go through step by step real quick in the build area just to see what I did. This looks good so far. That looks good. That looks good. Because I don't know what yesterday's bin did. I don't know why it's not on Rebrickable. I would think. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. At some point, I'm going to make some stupid mistake. Okay, so here is submodel group 2. So that's copied. That's proper done. Okay, so that's that's going to be a call out. I think I want to group that. So I'll group this, make a little call out, tell it to attach to that. So where does that live now? Because sometimes when you group it, it gets shoved to the end of the list. I would probably be embarrassed if I had to explain why I was sorting the way I was. And that's kind of it. Yeah. I don't want to. I'm already the group. Like when I'm with the Lego people, it's fine because everybody knows. Like when we're doing our meetings and we're talking about sorting, you don't even really have to talk about it. Everybody just kind of nods and go, mm-hmm, I know. Because we all do it. We all know. We all have our little idiosyncrasies. Some people are very regimented. Some people are very logic-minded. Some people are engineers about it. Some people are artists about it. And I've always felt like Lego is a really good nexus for people who are artistic and engineering-minded, right? You approach it from an aesthetic point of view. You approach it from like a construction point of view. But at the end of the day, you're both trying to create a thing, right? And it has to be nice looking and it has to be built well. And that's kind of what you're going for. But I feel like there's the artistic approach, which is kind of what I do, which is just get it done. Like I have the image, I just want to do it. And you just kind of leave this wake of detritus behind you where it's like, well, crap, now I have to clean up everything behind me versus another point of view of I have this idea. These are the steps I'm going to do to get to it. And along the way, I want to make sure everything's done right. Right. Not everybody works like that. It's probably half and half. You're probably like, I have an idea of how I want to do this. I'm going to set out the pieces I need. Now I need to order some pieces. We're going to go step by step. The fact that I have a spreadsheet at all for all the crap that I've done with microfighters is just so I don't go insane because I've just done so many. My wife calls me out when I change the sort multiple times this say to me 30 days and she can't keep up with my logic and I can't either. That's hilarious. Beth doesn't even come in this room. She just comes in and goes, ugh. Like I've got sets all over the house. But as far as the sorting and stuff, the area, she's like, I don't even go in there. It's just beyond what she wants to deal with. All right, so this is both group 3. That's good. This I think is going to need to be another group. Although this, is it going to be the same as these 3? This can be 3 different. That can be its own step. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these. And I'm going to get rid of these. Now this is going to be goofy, but it saves me in instruction-wise. I think it will depend on the number of pieces you have. When you have a lot, it's probably better by color. Well, yes and no. You have to have, I think you'd have to have a lot to just do color. You'd have to have walls and walls. You'd have to be almost Lego itself to be to do color. I have 40 years worth of collecting, um, and hanging on to all of it, and breaking it all down and sorting it, to where I am doing it by part, and in some cases collections of part types. Like I don't have, um, 3x3 wedge plates, 3x6 wedge plates, 2x6 wedge plates, 3x8 wedge plates, 4x8 like individually those don't all have, they all live in one wedge plate. Like asymmetrical wedge plates are one, symmetrical wedge plates, the triangle, are another, rounded wedge plates are another. But yeah, the more and more you get, the larger those bins become. Then you have to start separating it out into color because you've got this giant bucket. I've got those big drawers, those big plastic bins of like plates that are larger than 4 by something, right? So 6x6, 6x8, 8x8, 6x12, something like that. Those are all in a big thing, but that is pretty full. So now it's like, I need another large drawer. And do I go by color? Or can I refine the part type down even more? Can I do like 6x plates and 8x plates? Or should I just do large plates in black and then large plates of every other color? It's like, that's the kind of thing you go through. Your wedge and circle plates live in one drawer and I don't ever use them. I'm going to come over and steal all your wedge plates because I need them. I especially need I need tanned colored wedge plates. Because I need them for landscaping. Landscaping! All right, so now this needs to go down to here. There's no step down there. Well, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And what is this? This. So now we do copy. Copy. Paste. Paste. That goes there. Excuse me. All right, so I made a change to this. This is going to mess up the step flow and the pages. So we'll go check it out, but that's the extent of that. So go to instructions. Bricks and plates are by color and part size. In my house, 90% of the rest are part type. That's like 100 to 200,000 parts. Yeah. I don't have enough shelf space or storage, Sterilite storage drawers to do every part gets its individual thing. There are some places, like there's a drawer that has like 6x or 4x something plates. In that drawer, there's a bag that has 4x something tiles. There are several drawers that are different from all the other drawers. They're like these IKEA wireframe drawers that have like tray inserts, which are terrible. Don't do those because your pieces get dusty. If you get stuff that's covered, that's the best because then they don't get dusty as quickly. But then on top of each of the sorts, like there's one drawer that's like round pieces, round bricks, round plates, round bricks that have the grills on them, dome pieces, rounded brick pieces. But inside that is like bags of other types of slopes, right? And like some tiles are in this drawer and some tiles are in a smaller drawer. But I try to keep everything that's like similar part type near each other. But sometimes it's like I have a drawer for one type, but I don't have a Arco bin or drawer or whatever for another type. So they sit in a baggie on top of that. And then for stuff that I'm like, well, I've got all these dark orange parts. I'll just kind of hang on to them and they'd sit on top of another drawer somewhere. So it's kind of a mess, but I know exactly where everything is, to the point where I also have a bucket, a Tupperware thing that step before. Where it's like, well, I don't know I don't think I have a place for these parts. Like, these are new enough, or these are obscure enough that I haven't needed to put these anywhere. And in some places, those kind of all to go together. Like, this is support like. So these go with other pylons or stanchions or stuff. These are all castle like burps and castle walls, like the angled castle like turret corners with, like, sometimes they have prints, sometimes they don't, but they have the rounded windows. Those kind of go with burps because I don't have that many burps. There's just a bag of like burps and lerps and castle walls. So it's like, yeah, 100%. I completely agree, James. I love getting new parts, but like, now what do I do with all these very, very little reverse arch slope pieces? Are those curved slopes or are they inverted arches? Where do I put those? Um, now I've got to find a place. Do I keep, because we get a lot of these new 1x2 half moon jumper plates now with a lot of sets, but I don't have, are they jumper plates? Do I just put them in with jumper plates, or because I have two different drawers for different types of jumper plates, or do I give them its own new drawer? It's like, all right. These are all different. That's why. Okay. So this is view steps. So this is going to be that piece first, then these two pieces, then these two pieces. Perfect. Done. Now we pick this one and say view steps, and we say that goes first, then these two, then these two, and then it ends on that last one. I hate ending on one piece like that, but that's part of why you play the game. First world problems, I know. So Beth ran out of the house today. She was going to go get her eyelashes tinted and her eyebrows waxed. She was going to do a whole eye thing today. And she was looking forward to it. And it's one of those things where I can't relate at all whatsoever. The money she would have spent on that, I'm like, I could get the Ornithopter for that. She does her thing. I do my thing. We're fine. But she's like, I took out my last pair of contacts yesterday and threw them away, thinking I had another pair that I could wear. She doesn't see them anywhere. She can't find them. And she's upset because she's got an appointment today to do fun stuff with her eyes, but then she has to wear glasses over them. She's like, what's the point of doing all this fun stuff with my eyes where then I have to wear glasses over them? I'm like, can you? So we had this huge conversation about getting contacts because I don't wear contacts. And I don't like wearing I don't like having stuff in my eye. So I don't do contacts. But she's like, now I have to go get an appointment with a doctor to get my eyes checked because it hasn't been quite a year to get new contacts. I'm like, that sucks. But I'm like, just wear your glasses. I think you look fine with your glasses. She's like, but I'm doing all this stuff and then I have to wear glasses over it. I'm like, oh, first world problems. I mean, the drama going on in our Lego group, first world problem, right? And I was talking to Beth about it last night, and she's like, she's just hilarious over the whole thing. She thinks it's all so much fun. She's like, dude, the group is a hobbyist group about toys. I'm like, I know, but it's still a large group of people. And in any large group of people, stuff like this is going to happen. It just so happens that it's over kind of, the group is centered around expensive toys. But expensive toys. And when people come over yesterday and it's Lord of the Rings day and I've got, Rivendell out there and everyone's like, that's amazing. Or I might buy that set, or I'm selling all these cars and they're like, I would buy that from you. I'm like, it may be, just a toy kind of thing, but people are really into it. So I don't mean to belittle her feelings towards the drama and everything, but I just think it's funny. So we got 20 minutes left. I have to get something built for our next meeting. I know we got 2 weeks, but I have to build something out of these trash cans. I'm trying. You have to make multiple trips.
They messed up and they gave you a cold one, and I said I didn't want it ice. I said hot, and they're like, here, keep the cold one.
Yeah, they're not going to take it back. So.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna put this in the fridge in case you want it later.
Yes.
You can just heat it up, I guess.
I'm going to put it in the fridge and then I'm going to come back later and de-ice it because it'll get watery.
I'm just worried about. Yeah, I was thinking about.
And I just take the whipped cream off the top of it.
Okay. Do you want me to de-ice it for you?
You can if you want. That's up to you. That would be sweet. It'd be awful nice.
I guess.
First, we're just talking about first world problems on the chat.
I know it is totally first world
Oh,
problem.
they gave me the wrong one, and so they gave me a free one, and now I have to deal with the free one. Oh, give me an extra thing because I didn't want the first thing. So I guess global style doesn't mean forever, but I wonder if let's exit. Well, hang on. Page setup, preferences. So I'm wondering if preferences. There's nothing in there. Okay, shortcuts. There's nothing in there either. Let's exit the instruction portion and see if in preferences there's anything additional. Appearance. These are all while you're building. General. These are all while you're building. There's nothing really specific to, and these are all shortcuts. So there's nothing really specific to, and I really wish they'd do this. What? Save. Fine. I didn't change anything. So if we go back into instructions, what I'd like is for all time, every instruction thing I make to have that image in there. And I thought doing a global style, but there's no, like, it doesn't change any of this stuff. I thought it would change, like if I switched highlight, the next time I do an instruction, it would have that in there, but I guess not. So again, we'll do, let's see, this is, I'd like the color to kind of always be the same, kind of bluish. Oh, hey, Beth. The 13th, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to Kanika's thing. To what? Kanika's dance thing. Okay. I have a Lego draft that night at 5. Okay. So if it's in the, or not 5, that day. Okay. So if we can't make it, I don't know if you really wanted to go, but I don't know if I can. Okay. We'll check. We'll see. Okay. That's our anniversary weekend. The 14th is. Yeah. Well, that's our anniversary weekend. Oh, so the draft is at 2, and if her thing's at 5, I might be able to be done by then. Okay. I doubt it though. Drafts are usually 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, I don't think her. So a friend of ours organizes Indian, East Indian, not Native American, Indian dance group, and she's been doing it for a very long time, and it's very cool. And we've never. I've seen video, but I've never been able to attend one of them because it's always like, oh, we're always doing something, and it literally is. So, and this time I'm like, oh man, I really want to go. And then I looked at the calendar. I'm like, crap. Had I not already bought the sets for it, I would be like, nah, I'll bail. But I already have 2 sets that I want to go through. So, all right. So then we go in here and do insert image, choose image, find the watermark image again. And then we'll do fit to global style. Image. Fill page. See, it sucks because fit to page. That's fine. I don't know why it wouldn't do that automatically, but whatever. Okay. So now that's on all the pages. I'll go through this, go through this, go through this. That's good. That's good. This I feel can be a call out. Step image control click to whatever. Lingering thing there. I think this can be a call out. It's only a couple steps. These are small enough that I'm not too worried about stuff. Have it off to the corner a little bit. Okay, good. Cool, cool, cool. Now we start doing these guys. This is so ugly. I don't know why they do that. It looks so much better in the square. So I think these are okay as instructions because then Yeah, that makes more sense. I like that. Okay. Then we'll do another one. That's okay. I don't mind doing that. This. That. Perfect. There's 2 of these, so the problem is, okay. I have to change the step view on this one because you can't see the other. Yeah, that's good. Now, again, I'm not turning it upside down, but because I'm changing the view, let's do a little flip symbol here. Right? Sure, why not? This can be a call out. Change the call out. And this is going to change a lot of stuff in here. So the views are all going to be different. So we're going to center this. We're going to change step view. We're going to go back to it being normal, but we're going to turn it so we can see it from the back. This is also going to change. We're going to do this and rotate it so it makes sense visually to our brains. Actually, one more. And then this will look nice doing the 3 up here. And again, I can lower this a little bit and just get rid of these other 3 arrows because I think builders are, oops, not that one. Builders are smart enough that they don't need that much hand holding. Well, it's not going to let me do it. They can tell that it's highlighted in red. That should be good enough. So I do not have any new sets coming in anytime soon, but I have a little bit of a backlog of stuff to build. Maybe some fun little sets. I do have these guys. I was saving this one to build with Beth on a stream, so maybe this Thursday I can convince her to build this with me. In J.R.R. Tolkien's birthday was the 3rd, which is why we did Lord of the Rings party this weekend, which it just happened to be January 6th, which kind of sucked, but whatever. And then I've got these guys to go with Gandalf and the Balrog. I've already built those. A handful of other smallish sets, GWPs that I haven't opened. I just at anymore I feel bad opening GWPs. It's like I could use these to trade when we do stuff like that, but I don't know. So let's see. Do I have a render? So this is done. That one's done. That looks good. Oh, at the end we need to do insert page after and insert bill of materials. That covers 1 page. That should be all right. Insert page before. I don't think I have one of these already. So if we were to open up, let's do save. We're going to go back to, oh no, wait. Cancel. I can immediately, I have a render. Good. I can immediately roll this into a render or into a new thing. So I drop this guy in here and give him the right size here. The only problem with some of the stuff that you do on these larger ones is that there's no Captain Mercer figure, so you kind of have to kit bash it. And I don't know how to say that in the instructions. I don't know how to say figure is a kit bash. You know, kind of figure it out on your own. But you can put in text like that. You can say insert text and say minifigure is a kit bash custom figure. Check out online makers or create your own, right? Select all, and I want it to be larger, 30 maybe. And then make it like that. Can include that. So, but that's always the issue with some of the, once you get out of Star Wars, or once you get out of the known Star Wars sets, or even the known Lego properties, it's kind of hard to come up with a, oh yeah, just like I said, what I would do is I'd go to Bricklink and find a minifigure image and just grab it and stick it in that portion of the bill of materials and say, suggested figure is this guy, just because it's, you know, it's home one. It's an MC-80 cruiser. It has Admiral Akbar in it. So then we'll do save. Oh no, I have to change the, get rid of that. And we'll do the Orville. And then we will do layer, or no, text to path. And that means take all the text and make, put a marching ants marquee path around it. And do a new layer. And then we take that path, select from path, right? So now on this new layer, we've got basically the outline. We take that selection, we grow it 5 pixels, and then we color it black for a nice outline. And then we got to drop it behind the text. So that's that. All right. So we say save as Microfighter instructions, splash pages. Why wouldn't I have that in there? Oh no, because I'm not saving it. I'm exporting it. Yeah, and I didn't need to call that instructions splash page Ornithopter. I just call this Orville. Orville. Export. Done and done. All right, so we kind of got 2 instructions done tonight. I will put these up on Rebrickable maybe. I know that one of these has been built. The only reason I may not do the Ornithopter up on Rebrickable yet is because I haven't built it. The Orville I have. And so what I like to do is put up the instructions with a render. Why is this not finding what I need? I don't mind doing that. But then the cover image for the Rebrickable listing becomes, or I use an actual built photo. So, Orville. Does that not hold shift? I want to hold shift and it doesn't. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to keep the aspect ratio on it. That kind of broke. Interesting. I used to be able to do that. All right. So that's done. Save. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's go ahead and save and then export. And then instructions, the Orville export. So yeah, once I've built the Orville, so we can do a listing for that on Rebrickable. And then once I build the Ornithopter, I like to get a nice photo of it so that the photo, I think I like literally just said this, but like I need to replace these because I've actually built these and I want this to be the photo instead of just this render. So I may go back and change those. But like these are the photos. This is what got stolen. I need to put copyright on all these renders. Close. Because AliExpress. Let's see if I can find it. Austin FC Lego. Lego Q2. I don't know if it actually is still here, if it got taken down. It may not be Q2. Lego Stadium. Oh, it's not going to be Lego. It's going to be, what is it? Brick built or building brick soccer stadium. Stop it. I don't care. Sorry, we have detected unusual traffic from your network. Yeah. I'm not doing that. Building brick stadium. So these are obviously the... Ugh. I have an account. I should just sign on so I can see it. Yeah, the design they stole. Maybe it has Google. I forget if I've logged in as myself or what. What is this? Message center. Yep, here it is. Yep, you can buy it. So I don't know why it's doing this network check thing. But yeah, this is the one. And so they've got a watermark on it, which is wrong. But what are you going to do? So it's not even because you can see like they cut around it. But if I were to put, I should probably just do that right now. In fact, let's do that. While I'm thinking about it, got a minute or two left. Did I close? Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's good. Don't need to save that. Discard changes. It's fine. Open. It wasn't. I don't know where the render is. Yeah, they want to make sure that stolen rent doesn't get stolen. That's an IO file, but I don't know why that's screenshot. No. PNG. Yeah, that's the one I want. Small with logo. Open. Also, oh, you know what? I needed to make this. When did I make this? When did this get listed? October 29th. So copyright 2020. This is the problem with doing the thing that I did. I wish this had an open recent. So I don't think I have a history where I can change this. And I don't. So we're just going to have to do a new one. Where I do type slightly gray and then pretty big. 160. And it's, what was it? 0163? Nope. 0169. Sometimes 2022 Ben Rollman. What is going on here, man? Ariel. 2024 Ben Rollman. And then it was, no, it was home. Do I still have the char map up? No. 69. I thought I did that. Alt 0169. I want it to be larger. Why won't you do this? 22. 169. Okay. And then I should just keep it like this. And then I can copy it. It doesn't matter what I do with it. Because now I can do new layer. Control T. Enter. Copy paste. New layer. Move. Super fun stuff, right? Okay. So now export as small with logo watermark. Export. Cool. Now, admin, mock image, Lego, Q2. Sort of after the fact, it doesn't matter. I should have been doing this the whole time. With everything, but yeah. All right. So there you go. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. Enjoy your rest of your weekend, rest of your Sunday. I will try to get Beth on here Thursday to build brickheads together. I think that'd be fun. If not, I'll find another thing to build, or we'll do some more instructions, or we'll do more microfighters, or we'll do something. So make sure to ring the bell so you know when we go live. And thanks to James and Missy and Walter for hanging out with me and keeping me company. Greg, I didn't see you pop in. Sorry about that. Hello to you. Thanks to Mayo and Scott and Johnny for popping in earlier. And you guys have a good rest of your week. And I'll talk to you soon. All right. Take care. Bye.